So on this one, we all know we're super excited about it. So you're just going to start with the light areas like we did last time. And I just like to start in the corner. And this is going to be some, I would say, short little straight lines in places. And then in other places, you're going to kind of round it out. So like I'm doing this little light part right here. I'm going to make sure I take off a little more right there. I'm going to leave underneath it completely black right now, so I'm just going to lightly create that undercurve of it and then come down and do some of those little lines coming out. Oh my gosh, we just started and I'm videoing. Go. Alright, little lines, kind of create those curves where it gets wider at the top. This one, but it's just so hard. I'm kind of angling my lines here. I don't know if y'all can see, to create that. Just trying to get all the light areas first. When you get down near the bottom where you have all those little circles, remember like the kind of the shadowing and the shading we did on spheres? Just look for where it's the lightest and, you know, create some of these little circles down here where it has the bumps. But you're really just kind of doing half of the circle right now, or where the highlights are. They're not totally black underneath, so I'm going to come back and just add a few widely spaced lines underneath just to get that value right. There is this line that goes down through the center here, if you're looking. If not, fine. You'll see them in between each little set, almost like these vertical lines. So leave that gap in there when you're doing like the next one over. So just short little light lines, especially when you're not really sure how you're going to make the texture. You'll have some practice pieces to work on when you're doing your project, to practice it before you start it on your final. But, you know, until you kind of figure out how it's going to work, you know, just keep the lines really light and tiny. The widest areas are kind of like your edges in here right before it gets really dark. I think the top part of the image is a little bit lighter than the bottom, so I'm going back over some of my little short lines near the top. just to make sure I've got that value to match. I'm just doing like some little circles at the bottom. It doesn't have to be exactly the same amount of circles that you see on the image. Just make sure you're varying it enough in size compared to the image. You're not just putting the same, all the same size little circles underneath there. Okay,